Hey folks, it's Hill, Hollow Knight no-hit runner and Jewel of the North with another how to no-hit guide. Today we're looking at the stigma of many a no-hit run, the dreaded acid skip. Acid skip is part of the most used any percent route and is in my true engine route as well, as it allows you to reach Monomon in the centre of Fog Canyon without needing Shade Cloak, which requires beating Hornet 2, or Easement's Tier, which requires going through Dung Defender and the waterways, so it's a pretty important skip. I have a few tips for making it as consistent as possible, and I've broken it down into two parts, the setup and the landing. If you're looking at getting into running this game or thinking about stepping up from any percent to all skills, true ending, or even further, then I'm here to help. Pop into the Discord or come by the stream and ask me any questions you might have, and I'll be more than happy to help. Links are in that there description. On Z! As soon as you come into the room and have killed the Aspid Mother, you want to stand on this platform. You're aiming for this wall on the left of the acid. The easiest way to get there is to simply walk off the platform, keeping hold of left the whole time, and it'll line you up perfectly to grab onto the wall and begin your Crystal Dash. The tricky part is timing the press of Crystal Dash, because there are actually a few frames between when you first touch the wall and when Crystal Dash is available. It's a rhythm you'll want to practice. Debug Mod is great for this, as it almost feels like you have to trigger the Crystal Dash slightly later than what feels natural, but a later press is much better than an earlier one, because you actually have a decent amount of space before you hit the acid's damage box at the bottom. Pressing too early, and the vessel will slide down the wall too quickly for you to react and repress C-Dash. This is actually the most common way of getting hit during acid skip. It is possible to set this up by jumping or dropping from the left ledge, or setting up by dashing into the wall, similar to Queen's Garden's acid skip that you might have seen in any percent speedruns. However, in my experience, these are much less consistent and can leave you too high on the wall. There's a sneaky bit of invisible scenery in the middle of the acid that will knock you out of C-Dash and straight into the drink if you're too high, and I've found walking off the platform never really leaves me too high. But if any of these work better for you, somehow, then of course, use whatever feels best. Once you've taken off, you've done most of the hard work already. All that's left is to jump off the wall and land on the other side. The higher you took off on the left side, the greater the margin of error you have on the right, which is why a consistent setup is best to practice. However, there's no height that's too low to make the landing impossible. Exactly like before, there is a few frames between when you hit the wall and when you are able to wall jump, which again means it's going to feel like you're waiting longer than what feels natural to jump off. It should be noticed that I currently have screen shake turned off, mainly for a better viewing experience, but some people do use the screen shake as an indicator of when to jump off. However, the best and most consistent way I've found is by using the sound effect of the vessel colliding with the wall. The end of the sound effect lines up almost perfectly with when your jump becomes available. And you'll know exactly how well you've timed your jump by how much the vessel drops before jumping. If it doesn't move, you hit it perfectly. And that's all there is to it. It might take a bit of practice in Debug Mod until the timing feels natural, but once you get used to it, acid skip isn't super scary. I hope this guide helped, and if there's any other parts of Hollow Knight runs that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments, or if you've got your own strategy and tech for the game, stick those down there as well. Of course, you know what to do with the red button and the handshake button, and I've got a whole series of how to no-hit videos that you can check out as well. This is a sloth.